Hello everyone, Ron Johnson from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and if you're looking for tips and strategies to help with your learning, you are in the right place. You're also in the right place if you want to listen to another short story, because it's story time. And in this video, I'm doing Anton Chekhov's A Country Cottage. Anton Chekhov was a Russian author who lived between 1860 and 1904. He is considered by many to be one of the best short fiction authors ever, and I tend to concur with that assessment. I think he is an excellent short story writer. I do my videos generally in one take. I don't do a lot of editing, so as I go through the story, if I stumble or make a few mistakes, I will probably keep going. So you'll have to forgive me for that. I don't spend a lot of time on editing. We all make mistakes, so the best thing is just to keep moving on and correct your mistakes when you can. So be patient as I go through the story. It's not a terribly long story, but I think it's a very interesting story, and it's a lot of fun. So let's get started with A Country Cottage. A Country Cottage by Anton Chekhov. Two young people who had not long been married were walking up and down the platform of a little country station. His arm was round her waist, her head was almost on his shoulder, and both were happy. The moon peeped up from the drifting cloudlets and frowned, as it seemed, envying their happiness and regretting her tedious and utterly superfluous virginity. The still air was heavy with the fragrance of lilac and wild cherry. Somewhere in the distance beyond the line a corncrake was calling. "How beautiful it is, Sasha, how beautiful," murmured the young wife. "It all seems like a dream. See how sweet and inviting that little copse looks. How nice those solid, silent telegraph posts are. They add a special note to the landscape, suggesting humanity, civilization in the distance. Don't you think it's lovely when the wind brings the rushing sound of a train?" "Yes, but what hot little hands you've got." "That's because you're excited, Varya. What have you got for our supper tonight?" "Chicken and salad." "It's chicken, just big enough for two. Then there is the salmon and sardines that were sent from town." The moon, as though she had taken a pinch of snuff, hid her face behind a cloud. Human happiness reminded her of her own loneliness, of her solitary couch beyond the hills and dales. "The train is coming," said Varya. "How jolly!" 3 eyes of fire could be seen in the distance. The station master came out on the platform. Signal lights flashed here and there on the line. "Let's see the train in and go home," said Sasha, yawning. "What a splendid time we are having together, Varya. It's so splendid one can hardly believe it's true." The dark monster crept noiselessly alongside the platform and came to a standstill. They caught glimpses of sleepy faces, of hats and shoulders, and the dimly lighted windows. "Look, look!" they heard from one of the carriages. "Varya and Sasha have come to meet us. There they are! Varya, Varya, look!" 2 little girls skipped out of the train and hung on Varya's neck. They were followed by a stout, middle-aged lady and a tall, lanky gentleman with gray whiskers. Behind them came 2 schoolboys, laden with bags, and after the schoolboys, the governess. After the governess, the grandmother. Here we are, dear boy," began the whiskered gentleman, squeezing Sasha's hand. "Sick of waiting for us, I expect. You have been pitching into your old uncle for not coming down all this time. I dare say, Kolya, Kostya, Nina, Fifa, children, kiss your cousin Sasha. We're all here, the whole troop of us, just for 3 or 4 days. I hope we shan't be too many for you. You mustn't let us put you out." At the sight of their uncle and his family, the young couple were horror-stricken. While his uncle talked and kissed them, Sasha had a vision of their little cottage, he and Varya giving up their 3 little rooms, all the pillows and bedding to their guests, the salmon, the sardines, the chicken all devoured in a single instant, the cousins plucking the flowers in their little garden, spilling the ink, filled the cottage with noise and confusion. his aunt talking continually about her ailments, and her papa's having been Baron von Fintich. And Sasha looked almost with hatred at his young wife and whispered, "It's you they've come to see. Damn them." "No, it's you," answered Varya, pale with anger. "They're your relations. They're not mine." And turning to her visitors, she said with a smile of welcome, "Welcome to the cottage." The moon came out again. She seemed to smile as though she were glad she had no relations. Sasha, turning his head away to hide his angry, despairing face, struggled to give a note of cordial welcome to his voice as he said, "It is jolly of you. Welcome to the cottage." There we are, Anton Chekhov's A Country Cottage. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a very interesting little story. Pay close attention to how Chekhov uses personification with the moon and looking at the moon and the couple and the emotions and contrasts, etc. there. I think you'll find that very interesting. If you have another look or another listen or both, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below if you're watching on YouTube. Of course, you can get in touch by email or check out the website as well. I'll leave links below. There's also links on the slides, etc. So there's always ways to get in touch. In the meantime, keep learning and keep having fun. Bye-bye for now. A quick look at the subscribe button, the notification bell, of course the thumbs up for like if you like the video, and there's the website www.tutoringcentral.com and email me at tutoringcentral@inbox.com.